Good morning. This is the potato patch. I think they might be ready. I've got two varieties in here. Swift, which is a very early first early, and this home guard is here at the front. Now, I was just thinking about it yesterday and I realised that the Swift have been in for at least 90 days, and they say 60 to 90 days to get your crop. Also, when I had a look at the leaves, they're starting to well, not be at their best, shall we say. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll dig a couple up just to see, or dig one up. So I dug one up and there was just nothing there, just a stalk. And I dug another one up and that was the same. So I'm a little bit worried, where are all the potatoes? I surely can't be that bad of a gardener. Yeah, I'd have to be the worst gardener ever, wouldn't I, if I couldn't get any potatoes out of this lot. Anyway, Kenny's gonna have a go and dig them up after this, and we'll see what we'll get. So I've got these squash plants here that really need to go in the ground now. If anybody watched one of our previous videos, Kenny terraced part of the back garden next to the waterfall, and instead of putting flowers in there this year, I'm just going to put these in because I need the space really, and I'll put the flowers in for next year. So as you can see, they're well ready to go in the ground. Big plants, the roots are starting to come through a bit. These are a new Uchikikuri variety. Actually, I'm just going to get out the greenhouse now the other variety I planted at the same time to show you the comparison. It's quite an interesting little thing to see. That's the other variety. These are crown prince. Did I say these are Uchikikuri? I planted and germinated these seeds, all of them, all at the same time, and I potted them on at the same time and treated them both exactly the same. So it's quite curious, isn't it? Anyway, it's worked out quite well because these are ready to go in, and the crown prince ones I'm putting, once I get all those potatoes out of that ground, I'll be putting them in there. I do need these to hurry up though and come on a little bit more because they are quite small. I'm just hoping that they're not depending on a long summer season, because as you know, in the north of England we're probably not likely to get that. So because I haven't grown crown prince before, yeah, I just thought that was quite an interesting comparison there. There's two terraces there to plant. In the top one I've put spinach just to push that in there for somewhere for it to live for a bit. I'll just take a bit of that out to get, I'm going to put two squash in the top terrace and I'm going to put two in the bottom. I've already got one there that's been planted for a while and it is pushing a bit, putting two more in that bottom bit, but that's how many I've got, so they're going in. I'm just going to leave that spinach in place and let it grow up underneath the squash for the minute, and once we've got a good bit off it or the squash swamps it, then I can just take that out. I'm going to dig quite a big hole, and I don't know whether you can see in front there, all of that. That is compost that Kenny dug up from the chicken run the other day. We just scraped back the wood mulch, and underneath it's all lovely compost that they've made for us. Nice roots. So you've got those little leaves there. That feels like a long time coming to get them in the ground. I'm pretty happy about it. And they're in a nice sunny spot and they've got good soil, so I've got high hopes. So the moment of doom has arrived. I hope it isn't a moment of doom. He's going to dig up the potatoes. I've hurt my back, so I cannot help him. And we'll see if we get something. We're surely going to get some.
There's lots of little tiny nodules on them, but I don't seem to be many potatoes. Right, I'll try the fork and we'll see what we can see. There's the old seed potato. Nothing. Couple of small, split. A couple of little tiny. Hardly worth bothering about, really, is it? Try again. Success. So the forks got that one as well. This one. There's a couple down there. Just little ones. Tiny. That's a bit your lot, I'm afraid, I think, for this. Do you want to just leave them in then for a while? There's nothing.
So we've stopped digging. That was 2 plants, and we've just got those, and they're just tiny. I mean, they'll be delicious, mind. But well, I'm just going to leave them to carry on until I need the border, which, as I showed you, those other squash are quite small at the minute. I don't need this border until they are ready to go in the ground. So I'm going to leave it and hope things get a little bit better, because that isn't even a portion for one person. I think it might be the year of the great potato famine here. Well, after the disappointment of the potatoes, I've took a run up to the allotment and I'm going to take my garlic up. All yellow and the scapes have already been and gone, and I'm going to take it up, and I hope that can cheer me up a bit. It can be quite hard to pull up in itself, and you risk snapping off the stalk, so I find it's best just to lever it out with a fork. Actually, hey, I'm quite pleased. Usually when I grow garlic, it's the bulbs are always really small, but that's quite a decent size actually. Hey, I'm shocked. Right, let's see what else we can get. Well, that's quite a nice harvest. I'm going to take it up to the table at the top of the allotment and have a proper look at it. So, as it happens, that first garlic I pulled out was the biggest one. But never mind, you know, I've got a few decent sized garlics there. And the truth is, I don't really get what the big deal is about getting massive garlic bulbs. Of course, I mean, I know you get a bigger crop, like, but how much garlic does one person need? That is masses of garlic there, and I've actually still got garlic in the freezer from last year. What I do with my garlic once it's dried out, I mean, I might use a few of the bulbs as they are, but I actually put it in the blender with olive oil and blend it all down, and so it's already mashed up garlic, and then I freeze it in little jars and just get it out and keep it in the fridge as I need it. And keeping the jars in the fridge with the olive oil just seems to me indefinitely, certainly until I use the whole jar. And I think I've still got two quite large jars from last year in the freezer, despite the fact I use garlic most days. The reason I like doing that is because I can't be bothered fiddling on with the garlic and crushing it up every day, and my hands always smell of garlic. This way it's just a little bit of it on the end of a teaspoon. So yeah, that's a success as far as I'm concerned. I actually, well, maybe I shouldn't say this. I was going to say I probably won't grow garlic next year because I'm not going to need it. But one thing I am wanting to try is elephant garlic. So maybe I'll do that next year. But I'm definitely not going to need to do garlic next year. We're battling the noise a bit in this video. Back at home, the council are digging up the pavements on the road near our house, and here at the allotment there's a tractor, there's a lawnmower, we've got the whole kit and caboodle, so please excuse all the extraneous noise. Anyway, I've got a patch here in this border, and I've got some rather leggy looking beetroot which I've just hardened off. They are going to go in here now, and we'll get this all filled out. There's no point in having any empty space in any of the borders, is there? Well, I think we'll do this bit with a bit of music on the top before that tractor comes back up again. It's better than me listening to me prattling on anyway, isn't it? Anyway, I've got two types of beetroot, Monica and Cylindra, and they're multi-sown, so I've got about 4 little plants per pocket. job of the day, I think today, is I'm going to get some of this rhubarb. I haven't picked any of the rhubarb this year. It kind of went off to seed immediately. Oh, look at that. Anyway, I don't know what that means for the stalks. Usually if something goes off to seed, the plant's past its best. With rhubarb, who knows. But I'm going to take some home because I saw this good recipe. I'm quite into ferments. I do kefir and I make kombucha and I do fermented vegetables. And I saw a recipe for yeast fermented rhubarb, which I want to give a try. You know how acidic and sharp rhubarb can be, and if you're going to eat it as a pudding, you've got to put so much sugar in. It really puts me off. Plus it's not very good for your joints, I don't think. Anyway, I'm going to try this fermenting process, which apparently softens the flavour right down. And of course then you get all the benefits of all the fermented bacteria and yeasts that'll be in that. Yeah, so there's nice small stalks there, you know, that not too big and tough. So I'm going to take them. Unfortunately I've forgotten my knife, so I'm going to have to see if I can cut them with scissors. So I've got garlic and I've got rhubarb. So despite the potato setback this morning, I still call that a success of a day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you next time. Bye.